Good day, students. This is GE6103, Living in the IT Era. I am your OLC, Miss Crystalline P. Copreros. Our topic for today is about what is human development. At the end of this discussion, you are expected to learn and understand the history of human development. Know the roles of trade, industrialization, global governance, aid, and philanthropy in human development. Learn what are the global flatteners and unflatteners. Improving people's well-being and enlarging their freedoms and opportunities is a process of human development. It is about having true freedom to choose and decide on who we want to be, what to do, and how to live our lives. The concept of human development was developed by Dr. Mahbub ul-Haq, a Pakistani economist during the 1970s at the World Bank. He posited that the true purpose of development is to improve people's lives. He believed that the measure of GDP, or the gross domestic product, failed to measure true human progress or well-being. He worked with Nobel laureate Amartya Sen and other great economists. And in 1990, he published the first Human Development Report, commissioned by the United Nations Development Program. Central to human development is the capability approach, where the concept of capabilities or the equipment one has to strive for and pursue to have a life of value. Capabilities are the things that people can do and what they can become. These are what they value to a fulfilling life. Virtually, everyone values good health, access to knowledge, and a decent standard of living. Other capabilities are being able to participate in decision-making that affects people's lives. A certain control in one's living environment, freedom from violence, to be respected, and to have time to relax and have fun. Societal conditions and institutions, aside from our own doing, either expands or constrains our capabilities. Certain aspects of capability approach may be linked to Aristotle and Adam Smith, but more recently it is Martha Nussbaum and Amartya Sen who are credited for its development and proliferation. At the core of this approach is that well-being should be defined by people's real and actual opportunities to undertake the pursuits that they desire. Often referred to as capabilities to function. And through these freedoms, be whom would like to be. In contrast with other theories of well-being that focus on subjective measures or material things and means such as income, the capability approach prioritizes the actual opportunity of the ability of beings and doings. A new approach in the advance of human well-being was introduced in the first Human Development Report of Dr. Mahbub ul-Haq. He stated that the basic objective of development is to create an enabling environment for people to enjoy long, healthy, and creative lives. It is also defined human development as a process of enlarging people's choices and strengthening human capabilities that enables people to lead fuller, healthier, and longer lives. The approach focused on people, their opportunities, and their choices. It is in this same report that Dr. Mahbub al-Haq presented the concept of the Human Development Index. It was developed as an alternative to money metrics like GDP. It has since then become one of the most widely used metrics that measures well-being around the world, not just indexes confined to income. And in some countries, the Human Development Index is being used as an official government statistic. True development is people-centered. Unlike traditional development, economics where development is growth of per capita real income. Human development encompasses all aspects of development. It is holistic in its approach. In it, economic growth only becomes a subset of the whole human development paradigm. Foreign trade actually came ahead industrialization by thousands of years. Nations or people from communities or islands traveled far and wide just to trade as evidence by the travels of early explorers. Industrialization began around the middle of 18th century in Great Britain. It involved innovation in iron smelting, the invention of steam engine, production of steel and railways, steamships, and other transport, among others. Industrialization boosted trade and the trade spread of industrialization to other nations. From the start, industrialization has involved the interaction of three things: technology, specialization, and trade. This interaction is the catalyst of structural change within economies. Trade and industrialization are integral to human development, even if it is mainly related to economic growth. The ensuing opportunities coming from them enlarge people's opportunities and choices for a better well-being. Economists and policymakers agree that government in developing countries need to provide the infrastructure, promote market efficiency, and foster a stable macroeconomic environment to ensure that trade and industrialization happens in and outside their country. Let's talk about global governance. The UN Millennium Summit held last September of the year 2000 adopted 8 Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs. It is a set of time-bound and measurable goals. It did not list economic growth, which means that it's only a means to achieve targets of development and not an end in itself. World leaders adopted Millennium Declaration and agreed on a set of ambitious development goals and targets to be achieved by 2015. The MDGs involve 8 goals and represents a holistic approach to development with targets in the areas of economic, social, health, education, gender, and environment. These are eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, achieve universal primary education, promote gender equality and empowering women, reduce child mortality, improve maternal health, combat HIV, AIDS, malaria, and other diseases, ensure environmental sustainability, and develop a global partnership for development. So those are the 8 goals of MDGs. Let's proceed now on aid and philanthropy. Love of humanity is the broad definition of philanthropy. It was private resources are voluntarily mobilized to meet human needs, alleviate suffering, and take on systematic challenge that hinder human development through the institution of civil society. Philanthropy becomes a contributor to social change and advancement. These institutions range from small community foundations to large private and professional grant makers. These grant makers and social investors respond in a relatively quick manner and provide a source of funds for new ideas, an appropriate scale of support to community development can be realized. In order for aid and philanthropy to succeed, it needs an infrastructure and an environment that possesses 5 main features. One is the legal framework that empowers. Second one, a tax structure that provides incentives. Third one is an accountability system that builds confidence in philanthropy and civil society. Fourth, sufficient institutional capacity to implement effective activities. And enough resources to undertake activities. Previously seen as marginal player in international cooperation discourse, philanthropy now plays a growing role. Philanthropy flows or aid is ever increasing as a proportion of overall financial flows. Grant making combined with new forms of social investing attracts the interest of development agents. Philanthropy has much to contribute to development. As an expression of human generosity, the culture of giving is present in every culture, and it's reflective of the world's cultures and religions. Global philanthropy is central to the sustainability of global civil society. Now let's discuss global flatteners and unflatteners. The world is flat. A Brief History of the 21st Century, a book by Thomas Friedman, 2007, where he proposes and emphasizes that due to certain events and developments, the world is becoming flat. It is metaphorical in nature, where he meant that the world is becoming more of a level playing field when it comes to business for every country or company. Equal opportunities to compete are given to each. Flatteners is what Friedman calls these events and developments. For Friedman, 10 flatteners made the business field into the way it is today, where geography and history are marked. The coming down of Berlin Wall on 11th of September 1989 is the first flattener. The coming down of the Berlin Wall is the first flattener. The Cold War has ended and countries, companies, and individuals are able to join economic mainstream capitalism. Countries that allows connections and trades to prosper showed an increase in interdependence. Friedman called the period of the 90s the new age of creativity because of the opportunity of each individual to access and share information through computers. The second flattener is the Netscape going public. On introducing new tools such as a web browser and the internet, the world becomes smaller because physical barriers are eliminated by the internet. Communication and transfer information through long distances is made faster and easier. The third flattener is the existence of wide range of software standards that allows every individual to do more using their computers. These workflow software of codes in the language of computers that make it possible for the said computers to send, receive, and read data anywhere in the world. So that is the third flattener. The ability to upload information and content from the computer onto a network is the fourth force. Through open source software like Wikipedia and YouTube, every individual can be an actual contributor or creator of new information. However, according to Friedman, the ability to create and upload information can be very disruptive. Nobody really knows if the information is true or false. It may also lead to the downfall of many companies. Outsourcing is the fifth flattener. Third-party subcontracting to cut costs and increase efficiency have been the trend for more and more companies. Yes. Whether it is the distribution of services or manufacturing products, outsourcing is chosen to be the way to go for companies to perform better and save money. This endeavor is made easier through installation of fiber optics cable, World Wide Web, which makes information and data transfer faster. The sixth flattener is offshoring. When the production plant of a company is moved from one country to another, it is called offshoring. This happens because of several reasons, like lower taxes and cheaper labor. Supply chaining is the seventh flattener. It is the increasing of connection between suppliers to retailers to consumers. Coupled with the use of advanced technology, supply chaining is found to be one of the best methods to promote efficiency. Boundaries between consumers and manufacturers are virtually eliminated or minimized. The eighth flattener is insourcing. This happens when one company hires another company to handle their supply chain. The ninth flattener is informing. It deals with the easy access of obtaining information specifically provided by the World Wide Web through its various search engines. A lot of power is placed in the people's hands, all with just a click of the mouse. The 10th and the final flattener is called the steroids. According to Friedman, there are three types of steroids: the ever-changing Trends in computer technology are digital steroids. Mobile steroids allow users to work from anywhere, such as wireless internet. And personal steroids is when inventions are cheap and small enough to be utilized by individuals. So that is the 10th and the final flattening. According to experts, there are also 7 unflatteners, which does not make the world flat or which creates an imbalance. These are poverty, main cause of global inequality. As long as it exists, there will be no flat world. USA versus world economy. The world is generally dependent on the US dollar, creating an imbalance in the world economy. The other unflattener is half flat world. This is when global or local governments fail, which could be due to corrupt officials or mismanaged government. Another one is the Middle East. The never-ending wars in the Middle East. The threat of terrorism worldwide could set up walls in different countries. Next one is digital divide. People are either connected to the internet or not, and this creates the division or imbalance. The next unflattener is suppression. From within or within the family, culture, and governments. That is suppression. The last unflattener will be discussed is tribalization. A strong cultural and personal identity could lead to misunderstanding, and when taken to the extreme, could lead to wars. An example could be the ongoing tension in South China Sea. Territorial disputes of countries could trigger wars, and there is definite imbalance as to who is more technologically advanced in weaponry. So that, or those are the 7 unflatteners. So that concludes our topic for today. What is human development?